The
You're
British
you're
Baking Show. I know.
you're sitting next to my cookies, asking
I
if
know,
I've watched
but-
Bake Off. I have Paul Hollywood's bread book over there.
Fuck that guy. Him and his blue eyes.
Oh, his blue eyes! Oh my gosh, his blue eyes! He is stunning. How did he get the name Hollywood? That's just crazy.
Is that his real name, or is that something?
How can that be his real name? Let me see if I'm running here. I want to make sure I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling. Okay. All right.
Do I look
Yeah, you can look at the camera if you want. I've done that before where I'm talking with them and I've got the camera in front of me. So it feels like the camera's being talked to, but I think this is fine.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Well, we talked about you've got a voice disorder, right? And I'm blacked out, like 60 Minutes or 2020 interview with like a whistleblower, right? I can't reveal my name.
They'll get me. They'll come for me.
They're coming.
They'll come for me if I say. Okay, so here you are. How many years have you been teaching?
Okay, so as of graduation May 9th,
Uh-huh.
I completed 20 years of teaching.
All right.
All at New Mexico Military Institute.
It seems impossible that we've known each other for that long.
It does.
Okay, we're just going to stop for a minute.
Tucumcari.
Yeah. It has been quiet this entire
It was,
time.
right.
It has been quiet this entire time. And the minute we start talking, it goes ape.
Tucumcari.
Yeah. Some telemarketer won't give up on me.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
father-in-law has the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like, Glenwood, where's that? Well, I know, but yeah, Glenwood, New Mexico.
Yeah, it's a non-thing thing. Okay, so 20 years, we've known each other that long because we
Yeah.
started it at the Institute at the same time.
And that's when I met
But
you for the
I
first
had
time.
been teaching 20 years at that point. So I had a huge advantage.
Yeah, I had been teaching 0 days when we met.
So, now you're pretty vested. Can you retire at 25 or do you have to wait till 30?
I'm on the 25 list.
Do you think you're going to try to do that?
The last time I looked at my NMERB paperwork, it said April 2031, and I thought that would be so funny. Just to be like, okay, y'all have got a month to go, but I'm officially done. But, I'll have a big decision to make.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about how part of what I do at work is go on little side quests, whether it's a reading list or organizing this stack of books or something. I think I'll miss those.
Yeah.
I've thought about, in 5 years I have to clean out this office that is inundated with stuff. And I don't know, I'll have to make a big decision.
Yeah. Well, I worked for 8 more. I could have retired at 25 and I worked
Right.
for 8 more. And the only reason I stopped really because Mother, I had to be here for
So
Mother.
you were at NIMI for 13 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I was at NEMI for 13. And the last year when I knew I was going, I spent a lot of time in my room and my office just trying to enjoy it.
Right.
Because the environment is so beautiful. I mean,
Absolutely.
I taught at Goddard. It was not beautiful.
In the basement too,
Yeah,
right?
basement.
And not everyone teaches in the basement.
Yeah,
But,
but I did.
we have a basement in Lee Hall, but I would never choose to work in an office there. It's funny because you started in the basement
Yeah, I
in
did.
Lee Hall too.
Yeah.
But you got to move up to that beautiful room.
Yeah, the best room. The best room.
My room's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's still the best room.
Okay.
The best room.
But yeah, I think that, and I would like to say that over the years I had some really good mentors. So obviously you were the first and the best by far, but it's been nice to have a bit of perspective on my job, and I already have started to try and enjoy that office, that classroom that is fantastic, and just being there with other people. And I try to enjoy the students, so that's kind of difficult sometimes, but
Well, they,
Yeah.
you know, they're unformed. They're still in the process of forming.
Yeah, it feels like they're less formed every year.
Yeah, because you're more you. You're
Right.
having to reach further and further down for
Right.
them.
They're the same age, and I always get a little older and wiser and
Yeah.
cantankerous or.
Well, and you're better read. You're better practiced. You're just on a whole different level.
Yeah, it's been a struggle lately. I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm way past that Gladwellian 10,000 hours, and I know exactly what should happen. But I cannot predict how unintuitive the students are. Like, for me to extrapolate, this is what the assignment is going to be out of this, and it's not even left field. It's not even the same ballpark or the same city or the same state. They're just, what they think is going to happen logically it's bonkers to me. So that's been the struggle lately.
Really? Yeah. Well, you have. I don't think I know any of the teachers down there except Orson now.
Moses is still there, though he took a year off, and I could talk about that, but it's kind of strange. So yeah, I am, officially the senior teacher in the building because Moses left, and he only has me by a month. So yeah. But then it would be Orson and Chad and Lindsay.
Yeah.
But Lindsay, of course, is leaving. I don't know if you heard, if Orson told you. So,
Yeah.
which I'm really excited for her. She's always wanted to have that dean position, and she'll have it, and I think she'll do well. So.
Well, that's the hope anyway.
Well, yeah, I know that's her hope. That's her ambition, right?
Yeah.
And I think ambition's okay. So.
I don't have it, but I'm sure it's nice to have it.
I gave up on ambition. Ambition tends to punish me. It's like, okay, I'm going to get these things done, or I'm going to accomplish this, and that's when the universe likes to, that's when the phone likes to ring, right?
Well, look at all the people that have ambition and how much they're suffering right now. That's the downside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is very few people have the disaster of having their dreams come true, and the ones that do have it come true, it comes with a whole bunch of other horrible stuff.
Right.
It's like that. Have you ever watched Spirited Away?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, it's like that No Face when he just wants her, but he ends up consuming,
Right.
All this other poison comes into him.
In order to get it.
Yeah, in order to get
The
the
one
thing he
thing.
wants.
That he should have wanted. Right. I think that goes back to The Office, right? Which again, the offices at NIMI are worth a lot of the things you have to put up with at NIMI. What's your ambition? Well, I want the title of dean or chair or whatever. Well, I think if you change your ambitions a little bit and you have this perfect little world where you teach students and you have your side quests, and you have your little happy space for a couple hours a day, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I've
it's
got
yours.
huge windows. So
Yeah,
that's an ambition. I've got the corner office, literally.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's yours.
No, it's mine.
Yeah. Where are you in the building now?
So I'm in 115. So where Melissa was, where Patricia was.
Oh, okay.
When Patricia and I switched roles, right, when she became associate dean, I took over her classroom.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
Okay.
fantastic. So right across from the other best office.
The
in the building.
very best
Okay.
one.
But no, I mean, my windows are massive.
Yes.
The light that comes into that room, that whole space, and the corner offices have better HVAC.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess I'm put out to pasture, I like to joke, but my pasture is like a golden meadow. So,
Well, and to me, and this has always been true for me. To me, the highest calling is the teaching, not the administering. When I was doing the department head gig, and I did apply for the associate dean gig and did not get it. But when I was doing the department head gig, it was a lot of extra work for not much extra money.
A ton of extra
And
work.
it interfered with my teaching,
Absolutely.
quite frankly.
Well, and I succeeded you as department chair, and you gave me all kinds of advice, which some I chose, some I adapted, right? But it was very strange where you'd have a day where you're like, okay, all I can do is chair things today. But then you'd have a day where all you could do is teaching things, and there you never felt like you were giving either one as much work as it deserved.
Right.
And it felt like a huge and high calling to be department chair and take care of, my people. But teaching is better.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, and teaching, for me, in the end, teaching was more significant. It meant more.
Right.
Because even though I was, defending the English department and
Right.
trying to stay in front of the things that would try to attack it.
Which is strange how militant you describe it, because I felt the same way. I felt constantly like I was on guard, protecting people from like onslaughts from all kinds of directions. But keep going.
Yeah, well, I'll give you an example that I had to go to the counseling offices and say, you got to stop doing this because of some of the things they were doing. I had to say, you can't put all the kids in one teacher's classes and then another teacher has 3.
Right.
That's not, you can't do that. You've got to stop that.
Yeah.
And of course, that was not fun. And then meeting with parents, I had a parent tell me, if you flunk my son, you'll destroy his life.
Right.
And she wasn't even talking to me. I was the department head of this person she was telling. And I'm like, no, flunking a class is not the end. Really?
No, and in fact, a lot of the times those flunked classes are the ones that help you to realize what you were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
No teacher flunks a student. Students flunk classes. But it's not because the teacher wants to flunk you.
No.
I mean, it's so much easier to pass a student than to flunk a student. Way easier.
It's easy, especially if you don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
You find
Absolutely.
every opportunity for them
I
to.
don't ever want this student in my class again. I don't want to deal with their parents or their counselor or the fallout of any of this. And I haven't passed students just because of that.
Right.
But it's helped to nudge me in that direction.
It certainly makes it easier to say, okay, I'm going to let you do some extra credit work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or here's this assignment you're missing. Go ahead and at least do a portion of it. So I can,
I can convince myself that this is okay.
Right. And you taught me so much. One of the things you taught me that I think about is, the sausage getting made. And that's, the grade book is one of the places where you make sausage, right? And since we have a more transparent grade book, you just have to find a way to make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the transparent grade book is interesting too because I still advocate for having a paper copy where you can see things that you can't see on the electronic
You
grade
can
book.
absolutely see the grade on paper in a way that you cannot electronically.
Yeah.
And the same goes for grading.
Yeah.
Which grading has become such a strange phenomenon now that it's virtually all electronic. But now we're having to move back to more paper because of AI, which is just a strange battle that I never thought I would have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been doing episodes about AI. I'm very interested in I think there are ways to defend against it, but I've always been that way. You know how I am. I like designing assignments.
Absolutely. That's my favorite part of the job as
Yeah.
well. And it's tapped a lot of my creativity that I thought I would use to write books or something, but this assignment is amazing. It's the best short story I ever wrote. But, I try to be proactive and prevent them even having the ability or the temptation to use AI rather than to be reactive. Which we work with people like that who their goal was to entrap students, which I always thought was strange. Just not my personality, but we had a colleague, maybe I shouldn't mention any names on this no matter what.
We'll call
but-
his colleague Harold.
Sure, that works perfectly. And Harold had a whole entire assignment and he told me to use it, and he said, wow, this is so cool, look, I get at least 4 or 5 kids every time I use this assignment to entrap them for cheating, and I'm like, what a waste of time, and what a waste of energy, and teach them how not to cheat and how to write instead of just trying to trap them. And of course now, I don't know that they would even get expelled like they used to just on one cheating offense sometimes. So
Huh.
we
Yeah.
retain a lot more students for things than we used to.
Right.
You know, as an old head or an unk status or whatever term people want to use for someone over 45 now. Back in my day, we'd lose a lot of students for,
Oh, yeah.
like, tobacco offense,
Yeah.
alcohol offense. We have kids who are involved with things that I didn't even know were possible for humans to do. And they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll teach them online for a couple weeks and they can come back. So it's very strange.
Well, that's the thing that we don't have as much pressure on, and that is military schools are like near extinction.
Right, absolutely.
And so the military apparatus within the school realizes this, and they're trying to adjust. It seems like to me they're trying to adjust.
Right, they're trying to survive.
Yeah.
I understand it. I think sometimes I don't agree with their decisions. Lots of times I don't agree with their decisions, but I want NIMI to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to actually retire from NIMI.
Yeah.
So I know we have to adapt, but there's times when we'd be better off if a few of the bad apples, weren't making the other apples rotten too. And sometimes it's strange who they decide is a rotten apple compared to who I know is a rotten apple.
Right. Well, and it seems to me that the perspective is weighted much heavier in the core's direction than in the academic direction. But
Well, it's more present to them, right?
right.
That's the thing with, like, we talked about the sort of militant defense of the English department, and I think part of it is teaching in a military school, but, there's also these enclaves where it's like math teachers and math assignments versus English teachers and English assignments, and always math feels more present and very pressure filled to do those assignments, even though they don't count as much as the English assignment that you're shirking, but it takes a different kind of brain, right?
Right.
And they have more time for quick brain things than, thinking brain things like English, like reading, like writing.
Right.
Considering things over a period of time instead of just doing them.
Well, and I've discovered this about myself, though. Like, I never wanted to do crossword puzzles or
Right.
Sudoku. That did not interest me.
Right. Here's
Or
a word find.
cryptics.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
these cryptics that they call. I do all of them now
Okay.
because it's almost hypnotic.
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing a Sudoku and realize I'm in kind of a trance state.
Right.
And I used to have the same experience when I was doing math homework.
Oh, right.
Because you'd have these problems and you'd be working on figuring out a concept, work, and then suddenly you get it. And then the rest of the problems would be just puzzle work.
Right.
So it's way
Once
easier.
you've figured out the concept.
Right. Once you figure out the concept, it's way easier than English. English has always been harder than math because there's more higher thinking in English.
You have to put more of your
Yeah.
attention on it. Your
Yes.
focus. Right.
And there's not an automatic, when you're writing, you're not automatically saying, oh, I'm getting this right.
Right. No, it's harder.
Yeah.
And in fact, when you look back at it, it's not like you did a math problem and you got the correct answer. You wrote a sentence that you thought was brilliant at the time that you think is absolute trash later. So, well, what do you think satisfied that for you in the interregnum, right? Because you were a math genius, a math teacher.
I was not a math genius. I was a math teacher.
You were talented at math.
Yeah, I liked math.
And you still are. And you came back to games, so what happened in the middle?
Oh, English.
33 years of teaching.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah. It became, for one thing, the sheer amount of reading. People don't understand the amount of, if you're really teaching English, you're teaching writing. which means you're reading the worst writing in the history of the world.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, it's going to run for however long it's going to run. And then it'll stop because it's about to run out of juice, but that's okay.
Okay.
But anyway, no. So,
That phone call?
no, that's the
Okay.
timer
Oh,
that I was, yeah.
Okay.
So we were talking about writing and grading writing
Right.
and these don't you find that poorly written essays take longer to grade?
The worse the writer, the worse the assignment, the longer it takes. The better the writer, the better the assignment. It's like amazing. And I used to try and mix some of those in. I know that was sort of predicting the grade, but I mean, we had students who we knew were going to be good and others, and I used to mix those in. I do different ways of randomizing now that I'm grading entirely on a screen, which
Right.
is a strange thing. I do print a few things off. Like, I've been teaching a lot of the senior trailer, and I'll have like 5 kids in there. I'll print those so that I can give a different kind of feedback that's more meaningful. But I mean, you remember at the end of the semester where you're like, okay, I'm done grading. You get scores now, but I'm not giving you feedback. We're done.
Yeah.
And it's like a grade like that most of the time now. But if I have students who are willing to, they can make corrections. So then they get some of the old type of grading I used to do, but not this new type of grading.
Right.
Which we had to switch over to that because of COVID. But then I had spent so much time developing everything as essentially an online course that now it's like I teach a sort of hybrid course.
Right.
But now that's second nature now.
So yeah, one of the things that I did, I would not mark, I never put a mark on a paper near the end. I never put a mark on a paper that I didn't anticipate a student looking at. I would not put a mark on a paper without the plan that the student would have to look at it and address it.
Right.
Because every time your pen touches the paper, it's time.
Right.
That's time.
Time and energy. And, you know, what we were kind of talking about is you'll have a student and you'll say to the class, look, I'm asking you guys to write a pretty short paper. It's just going to be 600 words, 2 pages, and they groan and, oh, it's awful. But they don't understand what you're saying to them is, I'm about to grade 160 pages worth of your writing. So they can groan all they want about 2 pages, but the imbalance is staggering.
Yeah.
Right? I've always worked more than my students.
Yeah.
And my best mentor ever always reminded me, don't work harder than your students. You're going to, but you need to at least find more of a balance.
Yeah. As much as possible, you want them to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's them doing it that's instructional. Mm-hmm. And I've always believed in that, but I think that some people have this idea that student participation is the same thing as people just gassing in the classroom.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, there's different ways to manage it, right?
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, I spent hours and hours on assignments that took students less than 10 minutes to complete.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed making the assignment. That's that creativity we talked about. But it's the assignments where they spent the hours and hours and I spent 10 minutes grading it that they definitely got more out of. And it's not gassing. That's knowing how to get out of students what's going to make them learn. Not just content, but skills.
Yes. Fluency.
Analysis, fluency.
Yes.
Comprehension, you know, the whole Bloom's taxonomy.
Oh my gosh, fluency. I used to spend a lot of time thinking about and talking about the issue of fluency with my students. Not using that phraseology, but, you know, if you can speak to me about your subject, you can write about it, but you
Right.
have to exercise some fluency. You have to actually discipline yourself.
Right, well, and it takes time to do that, and, you know, you're always fighting the clock at NIMI. You know, if I had $1 for every time I'd heard the term time management at NIMI, I'd have my salary. But, you're constantly fighting a battle. Everyone's trying to carve out their little time. You know, math gets 2 hours a night for homework. The core gets 8 hours a day for I don't know, marching in a circle, and then English gets 30 minutes where you're asking them to read 30 pages and write 2 pages about it, and it's a very strange balance.
Yeah.
Imbalance, so.
Yeah. It's a difficult balance for them because they don't have family there. They have the core.
Right.
And the core is not like family.
Well, I don't think that people feel like an obligation or a responsibility to the core. I think they feel a resentment for the core. Unlike a family, regardless of the structure, you have like an obligation. Like, this is the house I live in, this is the place where I eat, I owe this place, doing assignments. The core, they're just a villain to be, run away from constantly.
Right.
So.
Right. But inescapable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a looming thing to them and very present. And I think it foments a sort of resentment for teachers too. I have students, especially college athletes, who just automatically hate me because of what I'm wearing. I'm like, oh, I'm not them. Which is why I've always advocated for us wearing different uniforms as teachers, but that's just a non-starter, so. Just a different uniform. A uniform still, just a different one.
Yeah, that doesn't
It's too
fly, does it?
logical.
No.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah. It is, after all, still the military.
I know, right?